ladies and gentlemen, we're live. We have Savage Siege League action here. I don't know what week. I believe this is the Iowa division. I could be wrong. I know that there's a couple of divisions for them. I'm gonna go and make sure that I have it right. My apologies. I'm just over here making sure. It's the Montana division. Pardon me. I believe this is week 3. I don't exactly know. I don't know where their website is, which is the problem. So I can't exactly say, ladies and gentlemen. My apologies. But a bit of a different league here. They do, instead of, and there goes Gunny. I don't know why he left, but instead of doing traditional competitive gameplay, switch at 6, first to 7, so on and so forth, best of 1 usually, these are best of 3 sort of rank style matchups, first to 5, switch at 4. And I have been instructed apparently to stop the timer. Anyways, to give a quick, while we're waiting for this player to rejoin, because apparently he has to restart his app, which is quite unfortunate. While we're waiting for that, give a bit of an outline of these two teams. Zero Remorse Purple Team, they have players. I haven't seen them play, at least not yet. This is going to be my first exposure to them, and I'm quite excited for it. They don't have, at least they don't have a team that I've seen before. They do have players, however, that I have seen before, namely Akiri, Cookie, and I think I might have seen the third player for them, and then I've seen .0 play before, both in... okay, we're going to have to rehost. Because Gani just joined the wrong team. And a great start here. Oh, okay, I did not know that that was a solution. Anyways, that's been an issue for a lot of teams that I've noticed. That's I suppose a glitch is I think is a better way to put it. That if two players leave, whichever one returns first goes to the blue team, regardless of if they were on blue or not. But to give a quick portrait of .0, who I have seen play before, and namely in Facets, I've not seen them outside of that. They're a rather aggressive ranked style team. I believe have a solid amount of diamonds on their roster. I could be wrong on that. And they're newer. I don't think that they're very new, but they certainly have some more development that is needed to really reach their potential, their peak here. To talk about the series itself, week 2. Alright, my apologies, Timber. To talk about the series, the 3 maps that we'll be playing are Border, Cafe, and Skyscraper. I don't know if it's in that same order, but that's going to be the maps. I don't know the sides. I was never told that. I was just surprised with this earlier this evening. I suppose there might be some scheduling conflicts for the commissioners of Savage Siege, so it's unfortunate for them, and I'm just here. I'm making my statement, I suppose is a good way to put it. Making my mark. I think that's a better way to phrase it. Looking at the bans and also to talk about this map, this is a newer map to the comp pool. It got added recently alongside Sky in sort of an expansion where we saw ESL actually expand the pool from 7 to 9. Also removed a map or 2, but the main additions were Sky and Border. It's a 50-50 map, I'd say, when it comes to if it favors attack or defense. I'd say it slightly favors the attacking end, mainly because of how old Border was. It was very attacker-sided. I'd say with the rework that admittedly happened a long time ago, it's now more balanced, but still likely errs towards the side of the attacking team, because there's only really one good objective on this site, which is the one that we're seeing here, Armory Archives. The other sites that teams play, which are usually Vents and Workshop, and then Detention and... not Detention, pardon me, Customs. The Detention is very near to that site, and Supply, they're not necessarily bad, but they're not all that great. Vents is very difficult to hold, and Customs is pretty easy to collapse as an attacking team. So it's going to be interesting to see how Zero Remorse, there we go, I'm going to have to get these names right because they are very similar. We'll have to see how they adjust to that. These bans that we've seen from these two teams are also pretty expected, frankly. We have a dueling sort of secondary support and hard breach denial bans with that Cade as well as the Thatcher taken off. I'm surprised that the Maverick wasn't banned, but I feel that he's a bit more used on somewhere like Clubhouse or on maybe Oregon. That's the Thunderbird there of Gunny gonna get the first kill of this match. Lando get another one though. Will actually trade out for Clueless. Now up to a 4v4. Maverick gonna have to deal with this very aggressive roam that we're seeing here. Akiri will take down Lando, trades his teammate out, and again secures a man advantage for Zero Remorse Purple. As you can see in the meanwhile, this wall finally being opened up there. Did take a bit of work, but did manage to get that open. Luckily, Nitro go out, unfortunately unable to get it through as Cookie's just trying to hold down the line here. Almost takes out Timber. Actually gonna have to deal with some return fires. Timing's down, and actually there goes the Bandit. The half-wall area seems to be clear now as Curie will actually get a double kill, just sort of cleaning up some loose ends there. Swung the last one left pretty much, having to take down too many, unfortunately. Timber actually able to res off of a Thunderbird Kona, and Curie will deny any further impact for the ace of .0. It'll be 1-0 Zero Remorse. To continue with what I was on about before, a very quick round there, which I will address afterwards. The rest of the bans are pretty standard. You know, you have that Cade ban and the Thatcher ban. Thatcher very commonly banned. Same with Cade. I would say that the Cade ban isn't as useful because there's not a lot of teams that I find playing the hatches, although vertical play is a very big part of this map, cough cough. In fact, even with the updated map, pretty much the entire second floor, outside of part of Office and Fountain, pretty much the entire second floor is soft floor or hatches. Obviously, you know, there's stairs and there's the little walkway, but a lot of it can be opened up for teams to do vertical play. And a lot of teams, this is admittedly not a map that many teams like. This is a map that I don't see teams play a lot. I don't think the teams are very comfortable on it. But the teams that do play it don't seem to understand the fact that this is a map that is designed for vertical play. And nobody plays vertical. Did forget to mention that this section right by that armory wall is hard floor, but it's not going to be that big of a difference. I mean, in the entire floor, it's what, one room, fountain, and that segment of a room. And to talk about how this site should be held, since that does relate to vertical, most teams will want to have at least some sort of vertical presence above. You want a roamer, probably want to open up the hatches, that way they can do a fallback roam, and then sometimes teams will even opt to go full extension, you know, put a castle and mute and put their utility up there to help cover Armory and Archives, because that's going to allow you to deny the very common push, which is vents, take that window, usually take vertical, and then just plant right inside the corner. You can hold vertical off of a half wall and actually deny that, but I don't know if that's going to be the push that we see here from .0, and I don't know if we're going to see an adequate, you know, roaming response from Zero Remorse. Now, you do have a carry there who managed to do very well for his team. Unfortunately, snubbed courtesy of Ty, and Gunny will trade him out there. 4-on-4 here. Did luckily trade out the top frag, and he's going to now try and get another pick for himself to push back, it appears. Now going to swing forward. Unfortunately, gunned down and out from the Finca. And 3 people on the roam now. Suki Goat seemingly trying to do a retang above, but A minute in and they've already lost that hatch. They've already lost that vertical entirely. Not the best spot for them to be in here. As you can see, they're going to be now just looking to move on to the next part of this push, which is going to be, as I mentioned, sort of pressuring vents. Now that you have vertical there, it's a lot easier to get a plant. There's no real way to stop it without having to directly push that player. Cookie will take out Lando. Diffuser's down now. It's a 3-on-3 here. Swung gonna try and push in, try and actually take out a player. He will swing and get the kill onto Cookie. The Malusi is out of the round. Now, man advantage is actually formed here for 0.0. As I say, that Sticky Go traded out by Timber for timing. It's up to just the rookie of Foolish to try and clutch this round up, trying to get another round here for Zero Remorse. You will see Timber there. We'll take a headshot on him. Now it's with a just swung here. Already with one frag on the round. Going to look for a plant now. As you can see, will get it stuck. I don't think Clues was even really aware of that. Now all he has to do is just wait this out, and it seems to be that's what he's going to try and do here. He has drones. He has likely a camera or two from his teammates. He has claymores even. There's not a whole lot of worrying that he needs to do. All he has to do essentially is just deny a defuse here by Clueless, who will send out impacts, trying to sort of push away Swung. Now going to look for the defuse here. I think he thinks he's over by the window. Swung's going to actually push in. He hears him, it appears, trying to take him out. Unfortunately, the Twitch gets him. That'll be a very quick reply from 0.0. And already back to 1-1 for these two teams. And like I said, that whole round, well, not really. That whole round should have been about vertical. Because within a minute, at the cost of almost two players, for Zero Remorse, 0.0 had vertical. They had the hatches, they just didn't play it. They didn't have somebody stick up there and play the vertical, even though they had the Hibana. I'm sure they had some hard reach charges or some other way to set up vertical. They just never actually played off of it to try and pressure out those anchors, to try and take out some common anchoring spots and allow themselves to finish by just pressuring and sort of closing out that vent side. Instead, they just, once they got the vertical, which, yes, it's important that the other team doesn't have it, but assuming that worst went to worst, and they took it and then immediately left, and they get vertical, and in that case, they would need to make sure that Zero Remorse does not retake vertical, that they don't have somebody like Sticky Goat that Cap can roll right back up main stairs and retake that and abuse them for that mistake. So even though they didn't really play vertical, by pushing Zero Remorse out and by getting those necessary kills, they ended up essentially securing themselves the vertical, though they certainly could have made better use of that piece of map control.
Attackers are moving out to locate a bomb and defuse it.
Now, another vents and workshop hold here, and it's going to be, again, a sort of vertical presence. Nothing really all that special. They actually seem to be entirely abandoning the vertical. Timber can actually let them. Sticky Goat and Gunny will pick off Lando and Timber. And there goes the hard reach, as well as some important utility with that Zoph. The lifeline taken down. Timing will get a headshot, though. Swung striking back now. He'll actually trade out his teammate. Bit of a lane reply, but still, at least they're back now to even numbers. But the utility that they've lost is not acceptable here. Curie will take out Ty. There goes that vertical presence, really. They've lost anything that they could potentially use besides those ash charges, which aren't going to be a whole lot for holding vertically. I don't even think they have the manpower to do that. Akiri's going to swing around. He's getting those pings there, the yellow ping, and it'll allow him to take out Time. He's now going to try and take out Swung here. Finds him, and we'll get a quick 3K on the round. Again, Zero Remorse. Not holding back, getting themselves another round advantage. these past few rounds have been very fast, or rather fast-paced. I don't want to say very fast-paced, but they have been, you know, rather high energy, focusing on frags, not really looking for the plant, though there was that one round. But that was mainly because that was the only way to win it, not really by choice. These two teams have just been trying to out-frag each other, and it's been pretty close so far. You know, there's clearly some impact players on each team that are doing a lot of the heavy lifting.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they can. Take some trauma, please.
Now, as Zero Remorse returns to the top floor here, so that they've already won once, we'll have to see how Point Zero actually decides to respond. Last time around, Point Zero very quickly lost a lot of players off of trying to seemingly clear out a roam, which has been, that's a talking point on its own, a roam from customs from Zero Remorse, and they just did not really profit off of it. I think that it even was more costly than anything else. And speaking of the roam, I believe that's actually a Curie. There's going to be Clueless, who will actually get one there on this very aggressive sort of deep roam here. Take down Ty, takes out that Osa. There's two shields there, the Talon 8s removed, and that's going to be a big hit in terms of how they decide to hold this, how they decide to attack this thing is a better way to put it. As you can see, Lando finished off there by a Curie. This is a bad start again for Point Zero. Losing two players within 30 seconds. Keep in mind the utility that they've lost. Pretty much unlimited intel with that Iana and some serious protection with those Osa Talon 8s. It's going to be a big hit for them. Timber finally able to pick off Donnie, trying to get a second one. He'll get another. Finally pushing Archives here, seemingly rotating this push as they move in. Timing, pressuring from main wall here. Spots one on half wall. Not quick enough, though. Cookie will take him out. And now Akiri will get a second kill for himself. Looking for a third, potentially. Swung the last one left. He will be down. Now looking to stim, potentially get himself back up. I don't think they've realized it. He's going to actually just wait, I think, for that surge to come back on. He is back up here. Just some volleys going out there by Zero Remorse, almost casually. Then they'll finally finish off Point Zero, get themselves another round here on border. This has been a bit unexpected. I was expecting more of a offensive showing, maybe attack-based showing. I'm trying to make sure that I'm using the correct words here. My apologies, everybody. But it's been so far not so good here for the. Oh, my apologies. As we actually switch at technically half here, and it's been so far not so good for Point Zero. They'll now go on to defense. They'll now actually have a chance to possibly make up some ground, but it's quite a deficit considering we're going first to 5. I'm used personally to first to 7, so that's why I'm still trying to make that mental adjustment. But considering that the Zero Morse is this close to picking up that first map, it's not a great spot for them to be in. Ty will take down Swung there on a TK. I don't know why. That's not good. Some utility taken off the board. Obviously a gun taken off the board. And at what cost? You know, it's not like it's not like he missed a spawn peek but downed somebody. If he did spawn peek, it's that he died and didn't even get a single shot off. They've lost that utility. They've lost. It's just bad, to say the least. And it's not going to be a great spot for me to be in. I recently, in fact, casted a game that was a 4v5 from the start for a team, even though they were clearly a serious matchup in a 5v5 situation against their opponents, because of the fact that they started in a 4-on-5, They only managed to put up 2 rounds the whole game. Timber is down, and now it's going to be a 2-man advantage quickly developing here for Zero Remorse. This is bad news for them. I don't know what's going on. They just seem to be out of their element right now. This is not what I've seen from them previously, and I certainly hope that they find something here, because I don't want to be watching a bunch of blowouts in a row here. So you can see they're playing at a man deficit. They're getting a bit more ballsy. I think that's how they have to approach this, really. But if they don't manage to get a couple frags here, and certainly some frags before getting traded, then they're going to be in serious trouble. They can't simply be just trading each other out, because then they're going to just run out of manpower. But somebody needs to make a play. Akiri gonna fall. Timing finally seeming to step up for his team here. Might be able to actually get something off. Gunny shuts him down, though. Double kill from the Fink. He's now gonna try and push forward here. Don't know what's on with his, okay. Now Clueless will get one as well. Ty, the last one, left sort of cornered here, stuck in the middle of Armory Desk. Cookie doesn't notice him. Death does, though, and he will ensure a quick kill for himself. And another round here for Zero Remorse Purple, who now move on to match point very early on here.
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
Alright, this is potentially the final round of this first map here in the best of 3 between these two teams, part of week 2 of Savage Siege League Montana Division. And it's not looking so hot here, at least for this first map for point 0. I'm not sure if the Azami's allowed, I don't know. So I'm not going to say anything on it.
10 seconds left. 5 seconds left. Attackers' objective is to locate a bomb and defuse it.
Now, I don't know what's going on for them here. They have a grand total of 2 players on site, it appears. You know, one of them's below, so you could technically count that, and the other ones are... It's just a 5-man roam, essentially, for them. One of the players is spawn peeking here, one of them's actually on site. We're seeing an Azami. It doesn't feel like they care here. There's no... I think they've just given up, at least for this map. Hopefully they'll be able to sort of recoup and come back in the second map, but this seems like a lost cause, really, for them. Sticky Go takes down Ty, and that's going to be the beginning of the end for this round. I'm just saying it now, that it's a hard deficit to return from. Being down by 3 rounds, you have to side sweep, and you don't have any room for error here. It's not like they're the ones trying to put the map away, and they have that safety blanket. They're not in the position that Zero Remorse is in. They're the ones trying to fight for potentially being able to put this match away early. Potentially, you know, closing the series out 2-0. Right now, that's not seeming like what it's going to be. 3-on-4, Gunny will take out Timber. The Vigil knocked off the board. And now, the remainder of point 0 is just concentrated on the objective. And it's going to finally give them an opportunity potentially to get something to work, pardon me. I think Sticky actually baiting out a C4 there. Lando takes down Death by Clueless. The ace knocked off the board, but alas, he did get that wall open, and that's going to potentially allow an avenue here. Certainly going to allow for some more pressure to be applied by Remorse. Akira gets a quick double kill for his team, and now it's up to just timing. He's been a consistent player for his roster, and Sticky Goat finishes it off there. That'll be a quick map 1 victory here for Zero Remorse. 5-1. Well played. 4-6-4-5, 4-6-4-6-4-6, 6-3-11-2, 4-3-5-3-2-4. Are we
Skyscraper?
Are we waiting
I have a
5
throw
minutes, or
teammate.
are we just going straight to the next
just
map?
start that shit. Just
Let's just go.
Are we playing Skyscraper? Is that the map?
start it.
Yeah,
Yo,
I believe so.
Yo,
Who the fuck
Clueless.
picked this map? Who
I'm pretty
picked
sure we were
this?
supposed to. We did. I'm pretty sure we were supposed to play Skyscraper first. By the way.
It's good, bro. We're still
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't think
we're
that.
still
Yeah, that's
playing
fun.
it.
I have a
What's
throw
wrong with you
teammate.
guys?
Just
I
start
don't know.
it.
Skyscraper?
Ty's the wrong. Ty doesn't
Yo,
know
no,
about
Sticky.
the team.
No timing.
You said Ty's throwing.
Yeah, he doesn't care. He literally said it, and I quote, "I do not care about this team."
Bro,
No, it's not
we have
that. It's
Clueless
the fact we're
and
playing
Cookie, bro.
Skyscraper.
No,
Alright,
no, bro. We have
I'm gonna
Clueless
start
and
it
Cookie,
unless...
bro. Like, there's something.
Like,
else.
Right,
Yeah,
you can start it. We're ready.
Timber said start in party, so yeah. Good luck, guys. Have fun.
Good luck.
GG's.
This chat is something else. Alright, on to the second map. Skyscraper now. In comparison with that first map, it's... Okay, there goes Timber. I don't know what that's about. But in comparison to the first map, I'd say that this is about the same. It might be a bit more defender-sided. This is a map where it seems no team is truly comfortable. There's one good side, in my opinion, which is Karaoke and T, and the rest of them are sort of a wash. These 3 maps, or 2 of these 3 maps, because the third one, if I remember correctly, is Cafe. 2 of these 3 maps are maps that very few teams play, and I think that as a result, teams don't feel comfortable on it and don't know how to play it, and so it's a self-reinforcing cycle, wherein teams don't know how to play it, or are afraid to play it, and so, or don't know how to play it, so they don't want to play it, so they don't learn how to play it, and the cycle repeats itself. We'll have to see if the cycle repeats itself with these bands here. Already pretty standard band there with the Thatcher. I'm not expecting anything different here. Probably going to be a Jackal band, then maybe Valk, possibly Cade. So that this again is not a huge Cade map. Same with Border, same with Cafe. By a huge Cade map, I mean that it's not a map where you see Cade used a ton. He's helpful to have. He does bring electric. You can put it on from a distance. You can cover more. You can cover more walls with electric. With these maps, it's not like you need. It's not that there's a site where you must cover hatches. You know, with Cafe, it's not. There's not really a time that's applicable. Sure, the Cade, which is just banned, I kind of predicted that, is helpful on that first floor site. Sure, you could say that he's helpful on customs on Border. Sure, you could say that on this map he's helpful for maybe holding barbecue or holding house. But firstly, those sites are often sort of second in that, particularly with Skyscraper and Border. Those maps are usually secondary or tertiary sites, picked second or third sites that teams are less comfortable with to begin with, and even then, it's not like teams push that side, push vertically on customs and supply, push vertically on house or karaoke barbecue very often, from what I've seen at least. Maybe there's a difference here. An interesting change in bans here is it's going to be a Capcan ban to close out the ban phase here for these 2 teams. I think that's a bit of a target ban actually against I believe Clueless. I could be wrong. It might be somebody else, but somebody certainly remember them running Capcan a lot, and maybe it's just that one team, maybe it's just that Zero Remorse wants to rush. I mean, they're going to be starting on defense, so if they do well enough, they're not going to have a ton of opportunities to actually rush against Point Zero. And they're already up by a map in this best of 3, so it's not like they're going to have assuming that they win this map, it's not like they're going to have a ton of rounds left still. We'll have to see how this goes for them. I've seen some... I personally haven't seen this map played a ton, and I've seen some interesting approaches from teams in terms of how to hold this. Oftentimes, as we see here, that rotation setup actually into Geisha. Sometimes even a rotation from Karaoke all the way out to pretty much these top back stairs to try and deny this push from, what would that be, Shrine Balcony? So I'm going to refer to it as. It's just going to be interesting to see how these two teams approach a map that, outside of ranked, they likely see very rarely.
Attackers are moving to defuse the bomb.
And looking at this setup that we see here from Zero Remorse, I'm not surprised. It's very by the books. Not that there's anything bad with that. There's nothing wrong with going by the meta, going to something very meat and potatoes. It's just that, you know, it's not to see if they can play that effectively. Kiri gonna be a big problem. He was the only player in the last map to break double digits. He's been a very key part of the victory that we've seen and the success that we've seen from Zero Remorse Purple. We'll have to see if he's going to continue that performance as Lando will fall. Gunny again going to get the first kill for his team. And Timber going to quickly knock out Akiri. There goes any presence really engaged that might actually require some sort of rotation there from Zero Remorse. We'll actually see, I think that's Sticky Goat rotating? No, that's going to actually be Clueless. It's going to actually be Cookie. Ty will take down Sticky. And I think we're finally seeing an awakening here from Point Zero. Brad Holt, I believe, thrown there, trying to actually take out that Jaeger, but the discs, Kira gonna get some revenge from the grave as he'll actually protect Cookie, allow him an opportunity now to return to the objective safe and sound. So you can see that'll be Timber there pushing forward. Gunny will take a double kill for himself. Timing trades him out though. And now the Jaeger gonna actually get a pick there. Cookie takes down the Finka here. It's up to just him and Clueless, and he's going to get caught with his back turn. Timber guns him down. It's up to just him and Timing against Clueless. I don't know if they've realized it. Clueless is not really on his side at this point. I think they know where he is. They're just trying to pincer him out. He's going to get a quick bit of chip damage there onto the Zof there. As Timber looks for the plant now, Timing covering him. Unfortunately, no nitro. Otherwise, that could be a very quick end of the round. And Plant is stuck here. Death trying to make his way back onto the objective. Unfortunately, he finds a very quick death at the hands of Point Zero, and they'll finally get a round lead here, getting the first round of the second map as well. Alright, moving on to this next round, we'll have to see if there's any adjustments made by Zero Remorse, but that was lackluster to say the least. They lost, and there's admittedly some problems with that site, and that's just inherent. They very quickly lost Geisha, and even when they had a player rotate there, I don't think that there was enough utility to support a long, quote-unquote long-term, in the context of 3 minutes, a long-term hold. So the fact that Zero Remorse was operating from that deficit from the start pretty much just made it really tough for them. And then once they had lost control of T, and they got even in that 2v2, once they lost control of T, it was going to be very tough for them to recover. Mainly because the only way between these two sites involves you running right down a hallway. You know, you are obviously exposed for that period of time, and if that is exploited by teams, particularly attacking teams, that can become very dangerous for
5 seconds left before insertion.
a defense to deal with because of the fact that that's going to potentially lock off one of the two sites. Again, seemingly just actually going to opt against a rotation indication. I don't think they actually have anybody to set up rotations. That's not good. They have 3 nitros, but no shotguns, no impacts, and that's just not favorable. They could have brought somebody that can pack a shotgun. I don't think that this Pulse here, run by Clueless, I mean, Pulse is a good idea, but he's just difficult to coordinate with. You need to have either a player working with him, or he needs to be able to really make just a mess wherever he's holding. And again, to look at the style really that we've seen from Zero Remorse, it's very aggressive. They don't have anybody on this karaoke side. They have one player on T. They don't have any way to really take pressure off of karaoke from T. They don't even have a way into T besides that one doorway. They have the rest of the players on roam. Or, you know, from this short roam that we're seeing from the Finka of the Thunderbird, the sort of defensive Finka of Kilakiri. C4 goes out, unfortunately, just an airburst, really. Cookie will take down Tai. Swung actually will fall again at the hands of that bandit there. It's proving to be deadly on the roam now for Zero Remorse. And this roam, sort of strategy on the roam, this approach to it that we've been seeing from them has been very profitable. We're not seeing a real response from Point Zero, and that's been really difficult because they haven't been able to clean out this roam. They even though they don't have Jackal, they can still use drones. They still have Dope. They still have Lion. Kyrian will actually drop one there, and quick trade actually. Lando takes down Sticky Goat, but still operating in this bad of a deficit in terms of manpower is not good. He'll actually spot the Thorn there of Gunny. I'm gonna now just seemingly hold down the line, really. Just telling them a bit Gandalf style, you shall not pass. 50 seconds left, and Death is again going to just provide that intel from below. That's been his MO this entire round. And I don't even know if they've realized it. I don't think he's realized it, but very quick approach now from Point Zero, and he'll actually be spotted there. Does down one. Timing going to now to potentially res. Rotation going to go out. Finally snubbed by timing. And Gunny's going to rotate down and get a quick 1 kill, 2 kill. Can't make any Susian rhymes, but end of the round there fortunately for Point Zero, and now back to just round trading between these two teams 1-on-1. Yeah, it's going to be an unfortunate round loss really for them. I mean, they went from barely winning, in, 2v1 to barely losing. By the end that was a 2v2. I think the major problem is that they have not proven themselves capable of countering the strategy that we've seen from Zero Remorse, which is a very aggressive roam-based defense. They themselves, Point Zero themselves, banned Jackal. They could have left Jackal up this time. They had the first map to learn, even if they hadn't done scouting and all that. They had the first round to learn about Zero Remorse and how they tackle, or how they approach really the
Attackers have discovered the location of a bomb.
the task of defending, and think that they should have known that there was going to be roam issues, because they had them in that first map too, and because of that, they've just let Point Zero dictate the pace of the game, and that's been really, really painful for them, because there's nothing they've been seemingly able to do. This was their own creation, really, in that they themselves banned the Jackal. They stopped themselves from having that roam clearing operator, and now they're having trouble clearing the roam. I don't think that it's a very difficult task to do. It's just about coordination. It's about getting some coordination going, getting the drones out. Potentially, if you really need it, bring Lion, bring Dokkaebi. Bring somebody that's going to help you cut off parts of the map, such as the Nomad, or bring a Gridlock specifically for that purpose. You know, you need to coordinate and run together in order to properly roam clear. That, or you can just ignore the roam. That's what I see teams do, and that's, I think, another approach to it that could potentially be more successful, considering how heavily, in this round is not a great example, how heavily Zero Remorse roams. If they can quickly overwhelm the anchors of Zero Remorse Purple, they could quickly take sight, and then pretty much just have to... Then Zero Remorse has to do a likely man down retake of the objective, probably with a plant already down. Lando takes down Sticky Goat, and now two-man advantage actually flipped on its head in favor here of Point Zero. They finally managed to just sort of clear out and take out these important parts of the defense that we've seen previously from Zero Remorse Purple. Gunny will get a Nitro kill, trades out Cookie for Big Step Up, but unfortunately the IQ there of Swung takes him out. That'll be the round there for Zero Remorse. Pardon me, Zero Remorse will fall, giving the round to Point Zero and keeping this at a 2-1 lead here, actually, for Point Zero. This has been, to say the least, quite interesting. We've had these two teams really just turning this into a shootout. These two teams are here, they're getting frags, they're focusing very much on simply getting more kills than the other player and the other team. And instead of looking at how these two teams have approached setups and all that, because neither of these teams have been very good at setting up the objective, particularly with the weaknesses, the Achilles heels of these sites in mind. I think that there's more to be said about how these teams are approaching coordination and how these teams are looking at frags. And I think that in that sense, even with the supposed disadvantage that Zero Remorse was talking about, they're still clearly winning. I mean, they're up a map, so they have that safety net, and they also have that advantage in that they could potentially put it away here 2-0. But they need to wake up now, because at least previously we were seeing some very strong, well put together play from them in terms of, you know, pincering and getting the proper angles set up, the proper walls open, really just getting all that coordinated, in essence an IGL. I think that's the difference, is just that maybe Point Zero doesn't have that, or what they have is not sufficient, because there needs to be some level, at least on a more regular basis for Point Zero, there needs to be some level of them weaving together a push and properly working as a team, as 5 players together, instead of just, you know, 5 players each trying to solo queue a very long ranked match. They need to actually, you know, try and work together here in order to pick this round up. And as you can see, they've been doing that these past few rounds. They've been, in general, they've been putting up a really strong fight here. Just gonna have to see if they can keep that momentum going. Swung takes down Gunny, the Thunderbird, the top frag as well of Zero Remorse is actually out of the round. Akiri will finally start his momentum. Seemingly Sticky Goat falls to the hands of Swung here. He's going to look for the second kill. Unfortunately, Swung's right into Swung's line of vision. He's going to now try and take out that Mira. Runs right into a crossfire. Cookie getting 2 kills. Unfortunately, Timur gets 2 of his own and gets the round for his team there. And whatever had been set up there by Zero Remorse Purple was completely ignored and flipped by Point Zero. Well done there in terms of counter-stratting, I suppose, from the attacking team. They're going to now switch here, and they're pretty much in the shoes that they were in. They have now put, I think it's a better way to put it, they have put Zero Remorse in this position that they themselves were in the first map. They're now up 3-1. On board, they were down 1-3 at half. they now have the momentum in their favor. We'll just have to see if they can carry that through to a map win here, if they can force this to Cafe, which I think that they're going to be more comfortable on Cafe, because it's generally played more by teams competitively. I don't know about in this league if it's played more, but it's going to be interesting to see how they really approach that.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they can.
Karaoke T-hold from them, unsurprisingly. It's going to be a rather aggressive lineup. I mean, if you look at what they have Jaeger, it's usually played on the roam. They have Malusi, it's usually played on the roam. They have Thunderbird, that's almost always played on the roam. They have Ella, that's almost always played on the roam. The only player that I could see possibly played on site is Timber here, as that Azami. And Azami, to make a segue here, is a really interesting operator in that she encourages creativity. You could use her to patch up holes in a wall that's just been open. But I think that there's plenty of different things that you can do with her utility, considering that it's essentially like a castle barricade anywhere. Obviously not as strong as a castle barricade, but it's essentially a castle barricade. And that allows teams a certain level of, adaptability and variability in how they set up the site, because instead of being, in comparison with the castle, instead of being confined just to windows and doors, they are able to do something like this that we see here. Azami, I can't even remember the name of the main utility there. I'm gonna avoid this Freudian slip again. As Gunny takes down Timing, Lando will pick off Cookie. They're removing that Mavericks and allow them a bit more security on that wall, because that's their only hard reach. So congrats, you just did a very big favor for yourselves. And in exchange, you lost the Thunderbird, which probably had a Nitro, so not the best thing to lose, but not the end of the world. It's going to be a big advantage for themselves. Gunny takes down Lando. Ty will actually pick off the carry, and Gunny going to get a third kill here. Stops from getting any more, I believe. Death by Clueless actually taken down there by Timber, who will trade himself out for revenge from the grave by the Lion, the Claymore, in fact. Just Ty here. And a one-on-one, he'll quickly take out Gunny. Stops him from getting anything else, but Sticky trades him out. Smart team play there, it seems, from Zero. Remorse Purple will get themselves around, get themselves back into comeback position here. Admittedly, they are down 3-2, but now it's seeming like a more tenable position. It seemed like they could actually make a recovery here. What league is this? This is Savage Siege League. It's a newer league.
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
Now we're gonna see a hold here of display and, or not display, exhibition and optics that swung. Loses almost all of his health there. There's luckily a Thunderbird present, so they can quickly heal him, but that's an unfortunate start. And as I was saying, it's gonna be interesting to see how they approach this. This is a site that they, I believe, actually won on it twice on attack, mind you. So hopefully they have a good hold. Hopefully they can use that good understanding of how to attack it to properly defend it. But at the same time, there has to be some level of doubt on that, considering that the defense couldn't win it 2 times. It's a bad sign if you go 0-2 on a site like this. And I think that again goes to show that this is not the best map for defenders. As Gunny's actually taken down there by Ty very early on, a spawn beak, it appears, actually manages to get the quick 5v4 for his team, taking out not only the top frag, but also that Ash there. A lot of utility away now. Akiri as well, there goes pretty much all their fragging power wiped away. Luckily they do still have Cookie with those frag grenades, but if they want to do any soft destruction, if they want to clear out a shield, or maybe a zombie Kiba barrier, they're going to have some real issues with it. Cookie's going to try and actually take something out. I think he spotted just a slight piece of a defender there. He's going to get that, hopefully get this wall open here. A bit of coordination between him and the ace. As Gunny leaves, I don't know what that's about. Hopefully it's nothing too bad. At the Thunderbird trying to actually pressure off of that door, it appears. Gonna have to deal, however, with, it's gonna be not Clueless or Cookie. It's gonna actually be Sticky Go trying to hopefully make some progress here. He's over in Drum. Khan actually reloading there. Bad spot for him to be in here. He's trying to pick this gunfight up. Unfortunately, Timber will actually TK tie and gonna bring it back to a 4-on-3. Cookie's down. Sticky Goat's heavily damaged, but he does manage to get a kill onto Lando. Cookie will fall very quick 2-piece there. For timing, a 1-2 punch of sorts. We'll have to see if he can manage to land the uppercut, really, take out Death, and get his team into a position to put this map away here. Gonna swing out now. This is gonna be timing, looking for it. Death McLuhan's gets a very quick kill without even having to touch him. Proxy, really, on the swung. The Claymore protects his flank. And Point Zero is getting restless here. I don't think that it's for good reason. There's 50 seconds left in the round. You were in a 3v1, now you're in a 2v1. All you have to do is just wait the round out.
Keep up area on duty.
All you have to do is wait 40 seconds. It's not that hard. This is going to swing around. He spots the zombie there of Timber. Just lower him, unfortunately. Any progress that he just made was wiped down by a Thunderbird Kona station. And that doorway was stuffed. Courtesy of Timber. Actually spot him, lowers him a bit. Now they know where he's going. He's going to actually swing across and quickly snubbed by Timber. The 9x19 proving to be a wieldy weapon. A proper weapon. I'm going to make sure that I'm using words that I could potentially define. Just make a quick bit of comedy here for you all. It's now match point. In all seriousness, it's match point here for Point Zero. They're in a really good position. They're up by 2 rounds. They have are on defense here. Admittedly, on a map that is not amazing for defense, but they have 2 rounds. They're guaranteed overtime. They need to win this, though. I've been told to not pause. He had to leave, and so they'll be apparently making a substitution mid-game. I don't know about the legality of that, but that's what's happening. So we'll have to see how that plays into this matchup here. What happened to their guy? He had to leave, apparently.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
And Ty took down timing. I think that's them trying to play fair here. Now this is going to be a tough round. This is a site that, I mean, it takes up maybe a fifth of this first floor. It is a tiny site. Lando is down and out, courtesy of Ty. They're goofing around at this point. I mean, they have an alibi, for Pete's sake. They really could care less. I would say in the spirit of fairness, but that second kill did not feel like it. That second kill, now I think they might be throwing. I don't know 100% yet. And Ty takes down Cookie, so it doesn't even matter that he got the TK, because he's going to immediately bring it back to even for these 2 teams, and now looking potentially for another pick here. He's just going to be playing this rather aggressively. It's not like he's going out and swinging stuff. Kieran might be looking to actually swing and get a frag here. He will spot him, takes a nice headshot. It's just the simple work of droning, and it's going to get his team back into a man advantage here. Man advantage, minding that they didn't really have to fight for. Sure, they got that kill there, but what else did they do? Sticky will fall, unfortunately, at the hands of the MX4 wielding Timber on the roam, and Swung is he's the only one on site. It's a 2-on-2. They have one player on site. It's a minute 40 left in the round. I don't know what's going on here. Death McLuhan's is the last one left. Kilokiri is just taken out, and I'm just confused here. This might be the end of the map. We could be going to a third map. We could be going to Cafe. Not that that's a bad thing, but just find it interesting. So you can see Death by Flume is going to be trying to work his way in, potentially take somebody out here, sort of scoping out the area, and it's going I don't know about that. You have 2 drones. I don't know why you need to spend that one there, and Timber will fall, unfortunately. Seemingly a pincer attempted but by Point Zero, and now it's a 1v1. They just lost their 2-on-1 advantage. They just lost a potentially really easy round win. Now they might have to seriously fight for it here. Death Loose again going to be droning. I don't know if Swung's going to try and punish him for that. I doubt that he will. Okay, I don't know. As you can see, he's just going to be sort of holding the angle, waiting for Death Loose to peek. He's going to spot him, takes a quick headshot, and puts it away here for Point Zero. 5-2, very quick table turning from them, and we'll now be going to the third map of Cafe in this best of 3 matchup between Point Zero and Zero Remorse Purple. 9-3, 6-5, 6-7, 6-5, 4-4. 4-7, 5-7, 3-6, 2-6. Not the best there from Zero Remorse Purple.
GG.
GG, my friends.
Yes, very nice. Very nice. Very nice indeed. Yes, yes, yes. How's your guys' day?
Fam! Fam's taking his spot! No way!
Go.
Let's go!
Yeah, I think Fam's joining. Me and my monkey. Monkey doesn't wear any pants.
Wait,
Monkey
Fam is
does
not.
the
Fam's not
sexiest
on. He
dance.
was at. No. What?
He was in the party.
Hold on.
He literally joined the party earlier. Don't switch teams, by the way. Me and my monkey. Alrighty, start it up, Esker. Good luck, everyone.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, on to the final map in this best of 3 series between Point Zero and Zero Remorse Purple. It's gonna be Cafe. This is a map that both of these teams know a bit more intimately, have likely played a bit more, and hopefully we'll see these two teams closer to closer to their element. You know, that first map, I guess point zero. Apparently they had a thrower, and I guess they just didn't. Maybe they didn't warm up. They seemed uncomfortable. That last map, Zero Remorse, was in that position. They just were unable to get off the ground, really. And Akiri, who was a very big part of their victory in that first map, was nowhere to be found in the second one. So I think that's going to be an important story arc to pay attention to going into this map. Is Akiri going to show up for his team? And if not, are they able to operate without that key performance that we saw from him in that first map? For point zero, it's just going to be if they can successfully find their rhythm here. They found their rhythm on that last map. They started understanding things like that, started clicking, and were able to win their gunfights and such. But if they can't do that, then they're going to be in trouble. And the same thing goes for the performance of Akiri, and maybe to an extent, you know, Clueless or Sticky Goat, somebody like that. If they don't, if something starts to fall behind, there might be problems if there isn't a balance, a counterweight, really, of the rest of the team stepping up. Looking at the bans, it's almost the same. It's going to be very interesting here to note that the two bans that have been in every single map are the Thatcher and the Cade. Unsurprisingly. The Jackal is actually available this map. Neither team decided to ban him. The Cafe banning Thatcher is very predictable. For all three of these maps, banning a Thatcher and a Cade is very predictable. These are maps that involve, or that center around getting a wall open, getting the frags you need, getting the plant. So it's not big news that those two have been banned. The interesting bans are a mute and an ace ban. I feel like that's more than anything else just harming themselves. I mean, I know that Zero Remorse was running the ace, and I'm pretty sure they were running the mute as well, but at the same time, so was point zero. I don't know how them banning the ace is going to somehow do more harm to Zero Remorse than it does to themselves. But if that's the case, if it seems to do more damage to be more of a detriment to Zero Remorse Purple than it is to point zero, then that's going to be a victory for them, because that's one of the core ideas behind bans, is that, or at least specific bans, I'm not going to talk about comfort bans because that's a very, very easy definition, is that you want to be able to ban an operator that's going to force the team to work around it, going to make a team uncomfortable without it. Big Step of Lando will fall very early at the hands of Akiri. I believe a spawn peek actually from the Thunderbird. Bad start for them, but so saying you want to ban somebody that's going to make the other team uncomfortable, make them have to adapt, where you don't have to adapt as much. You're not as taken off guard. So you can see Tide will take out Ancient Drip, pardon me, as both Timber and Lando, the sort of vanguard really, in terms of role for point zero, are taken out, and I don't really know what's going on here. It's I mean, we're seeing almost rushing tactics from them. Blitz will actually trade himself out there. Ty will take down Akira. He's in a 2v2. He's going to have to get 4 picks here pretty much to get this round win for his team. Sticky is below. He is able to actually rotate above. Pardon me, joined actually by Swung, who just slides in. He's been kind of silent this whole first round, really. He's just been there. Cookie's going to now try and rotate back. Same with Sticky. He does luckily have that Oryx jump ability. It's quite noisy, though, so needs to be a bit cautious about when he uses it. Cookie will fall, trades himself out with Ty for Swung getting the pick, and Swung just spots him. Gets an easier frag there, and that's kind of the downside of the Oryx jump, is that it's loud and it leaves you exposed, particularly during the animation. He did luckily finish it, but with that much of a heads up, it was not a difficult fight for point zero. And it's going to be a very surprising opening round there for both of these teams, frankly. On the primary side of this map, which we have seen nearly perfect results from Zero Remorse on their primary site. In that situation, they did not win that. And that was against point zero running... I mean, they were running an Amaru and a Blitz. They didn't rush, but they very easily could have rushed. I don't it doesn't make sense to me why they were unable to win that round. But I think if I had to diagnose it, it was just that they lost the gunfights that really mattered most.
As many bombs as they can.
You know, even though they were in a 5v3 early on, because they took out Lando and Timber, the Ash and the Amaru off the board, out of the round, even though those two were gone. The resilience that we saw from, and the push that we saw from Point Zero allowed themselves to recover from that deficit. And that, and the fact that they just won their gunfights, and didn't even seem like Zero Remorse, pardon me, offered that much of a fight. Nothing against them, it's just they let a blitz hot drop Skylight. Which, mind you, it's not like there's a lot of cover there. Especially if you open up this bar here, it's wide open. It's a no man's land. That's why teams like to play Cocktail and, White Stairs when they're holding Reading and Fireblocks, is because Whitehall and Bar are pretty much no man's lands. There's no real cover available for teams that decide to push through there. So that's where you put the hurt on. That's why Clueless actually going to take a bit of damage there. He's going to luckily heal up courtesy of those Kona stations set up by Kakiri, but Cookie unable to get any real health. And Timber will take a quick pick for his team. Not the best start here for Remorse. I don't know. If they don't pick up this next round, there could be some serious questions asked about their condition here. Timber actually trying to take down that Thunderbird there of Kiri, and luckily he gets a trade for a double kill. However, has already lost Swung and Tai. Then two players that pretty much gave them that first round, and it's going to be important that the remaining three players, the players that currently are trying to fight off of Owens, in fact, Step of Fam and Lando, two Stepas to make some interesting notes, and Stiggy's going to gun down Timber. It's not looking so hot here. Lando going to take one, looks for the second potentially. Almost spotted actually, but Sticky goes going to rotate back. He's going to swing back. Getting a bit greedy here. Does not have to pay for it, though. Neither of them able to get any damage off. Definitely is going to take some damage. Unfortunately, no Kona in sight yet. Lando confirms the kill. It's up to just Sticky Goat here. A very quick double. 4.0 for Lando. Another round for the attacking team here on Cafe. And I'm gonna ask the questions that I was not sure if I should ask, which is, what's going on here? Zero Remorse, you went from winning 5-1 to now being down 0-2 on an ESL map, on a map that you should know how to defend. You should be able to put up a fight here. I don't know why they're not even able to get a single round on this, what for many teams is their primary site. It's confusing me. They seem just out of their element. They're not showing up. They're not producing here, which is really unfortunate, because maybe they're running out of steam. Maybe the new player ain't drip, it ruins chemistry or something. I think the bottom line is just they're not winning gunfights. If you compare the amount of kills that these two teams have, just looking strictly at numbers, on the side here of Zero and West Purple, you have what, 7? If you look over in Point Zero, they have what, 10? So it's not like it's a big difference, but they're winning the fracking game right now. They're able to produce here, and they're able to win these close situations, which I think is another important thing, is that even if you're in a 2-on-2, 2-on-1, if you can't win that, no matter if that's you coming back, or if that's somebody, or if that's misplaced, allowing your team to go up 5-2, you need to be able to close that round out. You can't give up that 5v2 to put it back into a 2-on-2 situation. If you're operating on that comeback, you should at least try and follow through, complete that comeback. Now you're going to go out there, Ty, luckily managing to avoid that, and it's going to be a waste of nitro. Some potential plant denial utility knocked off the board. Sticky Goat will fall there. And Ain't Drip luckily able to get away from that gunfight. He is downed, so he does not have the ability to be rezzed anymore, but they recovered some of that health courtesy of the Thunderbird Kona station set up by Akiri. Speaking of Akiri, ever since that 11 kill run that we saw from him earlier, he has not been able to get back to that. He's going to get 1 kill, technically down for a second. Lewis will get 1, and now finally seeming to lock in here. Swung going to get a second kill for his team, second kill for himself as well. Timber's going to be trying to push here. The thing is, though, that entire bakery push just died. Courtesy of Akiri, a single-handed shutdown from Zero Remorse, and now they're having to relocate their assaults here. They're obviously operating from a man deficit. They still have plenty of time, though. They still have a good amount of drones to provide them intel. They still have, I think, they still have some Ratero charges. They still have that frag grenade and the claymores. So it's not like they're at a dearth of claymores. But it's not like they're at a dearth of utility. They're at a dearth of manpower. And obviously a dearth of time. They're down to the final minute here. So they need to choose a push and then stick to it. I think that's the most important thing. Inkdrip gonna try and get a frag here. Nitro goes out. Only hurts himself as he's gonna actually take out that camera there, potentially denies him. And so it doesn't matter though, even without that he's gonna take down Swung. Swinging across now, Timber pushing in here. With the pistol, will take down 2. Finishing them off now. And will unfortunately be picked up by Inkdrip. A quick clutch moment there for Zero Remorse. Puts his team back on the board. Very close though. I'd be worried if they had not won that. And despite the best efforts there from Point Zero, unable to get a third round for themselves, still good in positioning as they move into the final round of the first half. Could potentially be eyeing another 3-1 split in their favor. And admittedly, they're on attack here on Cafe. Say that this map slightly favors the defense, though it's not. We have not played a map that very heavily favors one side or the other. We have not played Theme, Oregon, Villa. These maps have been maps where you can see it swing either way. And as a result, it's a bit surprising that we're seeing this much of an imbalance in how these two teams approach the rounds. And how these two teams look at this lead that they develop. Or that they have to overcome a deficit that they face.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
Now it's going to be another top floor hold here from Zero Remorse. They did win the last round, so obviously they can't go back there. But they've lost this site twice. I don't know what changes they're going to make, but they really have to be trying here. And they really have to be hoping for third time's a charm. This Orcs here from Sticky Goat, I think, is an interesting choice. I don't know if it's a good choice, but it's an interesting addition that they're able, obviously, to get some additional mobility. You know, they don't have to really worry about rotates. He creates them for himself, but I don't know if it's useful outside of that. And that is the ability to make rotates and clear that stuff out quickly and without any cost of bullets. I don't think that's a big bonus. Timber will follow though. That Flora is knocked out. There goes some soft breach, some potential utility clearing taken out. Considering that there's both a Maestro as well as a Melusi in play, even with the Melusi no longer being bulletproof, that's going to be a painful hit for them. Kulis here pretty much playing an Echo with an LMG. I think that's the best way to characterize it. He's sitting all the way on the first floor, just going to be holding his cams, waiting for the late round, hoping that they don't take them out, and trying to deny a plant. Which is a bit of a pipe dream. I'm going to be honest. So I think pinging him and he'll just be quickly taken out. And well done, you just forfeited Zero Remorse, you just forfeited your man advantage because of that terrible roam, and now Sticky Goat is out as well. There goes very strong potential roamer. He doesn't even get any real impact. Doesn't get a kill. It's relying on Akiri on the spawn peak for that. This is just not... This is not peak performance by Zero Remorse Purple. No matter what you say, they're just not... They're not there. And they need to somehow find their zone, find a way to lock in, find a way to pick up some rounds here. Ain't Trip gonna take a bit of damage. Cookie will finally put stuff on the board here, trying to get something else here. He'll get a double kill, very quick 1-2 punch. Looking for a third potentially to try and get something to work here. But he's already neutralized any man advantage that had been developed, and Ty will quickly strike back. Takes down Cookie, but the just ain't Drip here, who's just quietly waiting this out, getting those hard things from his teammates, trying to play around this rotation and around this reinforcement that's been set up, and unfortunately Ty moving around, able to take him out here. That'll be a round win now, 4.0, going up 3-1, mind you, on attack, on Cafe. Look at the scoreboard at half, 7-3-4-4, yet to get a kill, 6-3-2-3-1. And point zero, pardon me. I'm going to look at the other team, and then I'll look at point zero. Zero Remorse, the team with the deficit, not the team with the advantage. This has been a bit of a rough grind for them. They went from 5-1 in the first map, starting off with that map advantage, having the opportunity potentially to put it away. On map 2, put it away a bit early, not spend as much time here.
Located by attackers.
They don't produce on Sky. They go down in a 5v2 as Stampa will fall at the hands of Tide. That's just ill-advised. They're goofing around here. I mean, they're 2 rounds away from winning it, and they're goofing around. And
5 seconds to insertion.
since that first map, it's not been the same team. Even though 4 of the players are the same, it's not been the same team. They have been unable to really show results since. Which is really unfortunate. Meanwhile, at point 0, the team now with the advantage is just a very good comeback story. I mean, they won 1 round in the first map. And then they've just now been dominating, really. They have been really unfazed by Zero Remorse Purple. They went from 1-5 to now 3-1 on the third map here, because they won that second map of Sky by 3, 4, 8, and it's just been dominance for them since. And it doesn't seem like they're gonna stop that modus operandi unless they're forced to by Zero Remorse. And I think that's gonna be another thing, is Zero Remorse able to really slow the roll here for the defending team. Swung will fall at the hands of Akira. He's gonna finally start to get the wheels in motion now. 7 kills, getting the pings there onto Ty. He'll be gunned down. And isn't it just Timber and Nixtable Lando here? Trying to make something happen. Swing going out from Timber. He'll lose most of his health. Finka Surge can actually assist him potentially as Timber will fall back. Now essentially being hunted. Cookie gets a pick there onto Lando. It's up to just the Ella Cookie looking for the plant. 1-versus-L situation with a minute left. He'll take down Akiri. Looking for a second kill potentially. And unfortunately, Sticky protecting his teammate. Protecting a match point. At least for now. For his team. He'll take down. Timber takes down. The Ella takes down. 0.0 for the round.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
Now, after that rather fruitless round, as you can see, it's going to be a first hold. And it's going to be a very interesting first hold, to say the least, considering that we're going to see shotguns from Timber. We have a Warden in play. We just saw Ty TK Timber. I don't... Are they throwing? I'm getting disappointed if they're throwing, because it just makes me sad to see a team not try. Kind of a waste of your time then. And I don't know, honestly. It seems like they're not caring anymore. Which was kind of the situation for Zero Remorse, is that Zero Remorse didn't seem to care. Ty gonna lose a lot of health off of that castle barricade placement. And I don't know, honestly. It's not looking so great for them.
Attackers dropped the diffuser.
You know, ever since that first map, they've been, what, 8-4. And now they're taking their foot off the gas. They need to finally put the nail in the coffin here. Win this matchup. Just put it away now instead of wasting time. Instead of potentially putting yourself at risk. You're sacrificing your own safety net. Sacrificing your own advantage. An opportunity to put this away soon. Early. And for what? I don't understand it. And I don't think that it's a good decision that is being made by them. Now, Zero Remorse Cookie will fall there. The hands of Lando, and brings it back now to a 4-on-4 situation. We'll have to see how this goes for the attacking team. They do have a fuse, they do have a buck as well, so they're able to now pretty much just abuse vertically. They're ready to abuse 0.0 here. We'll have to see if they can properly do that, but they're certainly going to be looking for it. It's going to be almost all of A-Trip's utility, those cluster charges. Not really able to do anything besides maybe take down some utility. And I mean, they've certainly been an annoyance. They actually just took down an ADS, but I don't know if there was much other utility around, which I think that's something to be said about. Better phrase that. There's something to be said about that. Ty gonna try and hold down a line here against that vertical play that we're seeing now from Fuse there. Vanchef will take him out. Now gets a man advantage for his team, trying to actually counter this vertical play from him. Sticky Goat, he's already used all of his skeleton key blasts, and he's set up vertical. He's not really able to find anybody off of it, but at least he set it up, made the defending team a bit more uncomfortable here. Lando takes down Kiri. Top frag there, taken out. Luckily, Death will actually stop the momentum, it seems. At least temporarily halting it. Low time, though. So despite of the change that he's just enacted, there's not much else that is possible for them. Ty's going to take down Sticky, but mainly because the numbers and the time do not favor him. 2-on-1, Ty gets a quick TK on Orlando, but he has been not great with his trigger discipline. And that's been both a detriment and a bonus to his team. He's both gotten a bunch of TKs, he's also gotten kills like that, where he's been able to, you know, get a round win for his team. It's a sort of high risk, high reward play style. Run and gun. Now, serious point here. Finally, one of these teams will reach it. 4-2, so they do have some backup, some safety net for themselves. But it's not a big one, and they need to take this seriously. They are luckily going back to their top floor site, so they do have some security. But outside of that, I don't know. It seems like the attacking team are finally putting up a fight here, but I don't know outside of that what else they're doing really.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they can.
Am I tired? Of course I'm tired. Best of 3 tire me out regardless of how long they are, whether it's this or whether it's a full-blown best of 3. And Ty gets TK'd by Lando. That's a mistake, to say the least. One of your top frags is out of the round. Also, your only healer. So if those Konas did not go down, you are SOL, my friend. And for what? For one more round?
Attackers are moving out to
One more
locate a
opportunity for the other team to stay in this game, giving them an advantage here? It does not make sense to me. I cannot find where that flame went, but that was interesting. It reminded me a bit of an old team that so recently came back called Durag. One of their very common plays was on this map, on this site, have a player with a nitro waiting by one of the hatches as soon as it's open, throw it out. Often gets a pick off of it as well. Kiri takes down one, in fact Timber off the board now, and it's going to be a bad start in the round here for them, because it's going to be a 2-man advantage to the attacking team.
located by attackers.
And Akiri just gave them a draw. Luckily they do actually get themselves a wall now. Last the flame there thrown out by Big Step of Fam, gonna just really slow the pace here for the attacking team. Just sending out his utility gung-ho almost. And not really doing much else. Akiri's gonna be actually hologramming his way in. Will spot that Tachanka might be in a bit of a dangerous spot now if he doesn't rotate out soon. He will rotate out now into the line of fire, just take him out, and that's going to be the top frag of Zero Remorse Purple out of the round now. That's not a great spot for him to be in, but at least he's managed to bring it back to even 3-on-3. Swung will take down 8 Drip, and it's even numbers situation. Half the round remains. That seeming lead that had been developed there, gone. Lando gonna actually be one of the last 2 left here. Him and the other Big Step of Fam gonna now try and pick this round up after, unfortunately for them, Swung did die, leave at the hands of Cookie the Habana. He's been doing some consistent work as that hard breach, as that sort of support operator. And unfortunately, Sticky Goat gets a quick 2-piece for his team, gets the round as well in the bag, and we're 1 round away from overtime. If Point Zero does not win it here, we're going to overtime on this 3rd map. They had an opportunity there. I mean, they could have had an additional player. But instead, they were in a 2v3 at the end. And then, from the beginning, that disadvantage, it just put them in a really bad spot. It was a missed opportunity, I'd say. And I would have said that it was a missed opportunity by Zero Remorse if they hadn't won that. But they did. They did it right in the end. Although they seemed to be in a precarious position at one point, they picked it up. They completed the push, and they got the kills that they needed to close the round out.
defenders. Protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
Now, Zero Remorse Purple in an overtime or loss situation. They're gonna have to repeat what they did that last round on this top floor here, on Bar and Cocktail. As you can see, they're gonna make some adjustments to their lineup as they make that realization, and it's gonna be interesting to see how they approach this. They've been doing these past 2 rounds. They've been going for a very standard cigar push. Taking this red wall, then taking cigar, then putting pressure on white, and then eventually Bar and Cocktail are attacked. But with the bandit here and with this very heavy presence that we're seeing from them, I don't know how effective or ineffective they will be at that. We're seeing, more than half the team here is there, and Big Step of Fam will actually take down Sticky. There goes the Fink off the board. Some res is removed, as well as some utility. Unfortunately, Swung taken out, courtesy of Ty. The TK again. What a waste. I think Cookie just spent a third of his utility on a hatch, a soft hatch, mind you. That was absolutely a waste, and that's gonna prove to be detrimental if he wants to get more than one wall panel in this round. Because he wasted solid 4 pellets there. I think a winding of the rotate for some odd reason by Death Like Clueless. I don't know exactly. He's trying to actually clear out some of this utility here, taking down those Kona stations. How much that they can do once that thing angers is bulletproof. It's probably also explosive proof, though I don't think anybody would even want to test that. As you can see, Nitro goes out trying to get some more kills off that top floor. Lando, the one to send it out, and fortunately nothing but air there. Cookie and Ty trading around frags for each of their teams. This Ty will fall at the hands of Cookie, and that was actually Lando who got a frag there. As you can see, a solid foothold established now over on this cigar shop side. They still don't have the cigar wall, which is kind of strange because they could have very easily taken it. All you have to do is get rid of the bandit batteries. Timber will take a quick double kill with the Super 90. Just capitalizing, gets a quick flank off. That's going to be a 2-on-1 now. Wish there was a replay function available. It's in the middle of a match. Unfortunately, there's not. 50 seconds left now. Win and go to overtime, or losing the series is over. That's the opportunities. That's the choices here for Death McLuhan. He's in a 2-on-1. He has 40 seconds left. He has 2 claymores. He has 4 drones. He has plenty available here, but he needs to make something happen quickly. Spotting one off that hatch, that's going to be Timber. He needs to be mindful. He's very low health, trying to deal with the Super 90. Unfortunately, unable to get anything done. Timber shuts him down. The Frost shotgun play, taking out the majority of Zero Remorse, and unfortunately their hopes are dashed. 5-3 here for Point Zero. They will finally prevail. 8767635769656. 763626. Good game to both teams. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. I have been the loveliest cargo player. This has been Savage Siege League Week 2 Montana Division matchup between Point Zero and Zero Remorse Purple Team. Map 1, Border, Zero Remorse 5-1 win. Map 2, Skyscraper, Point Zero win 5-2. 5-3 win for Point Zero on the Decider map of Cafe. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.